Hello everyone and welcome to MCN, the McAllen Cable Network. My name is Teclo Garcia. I'm the Director of Government Affairs for the City of McAllen. And today's program is part of a series of shows on public affairs where we try to inform you, the community, on important issues happening in the community. Today's guest is Dr. James Ponce, Superintendent of McAllen ISD. And Dr. Ponce, welcome to the show. Thanks for having us here. Thanks for having us in this beautiful library at McAllen High School, where my son goes to school, and of course I've rigged this whole show so we could have it here.
No, my pleasure. It's always great to talk about McAllen ISD and the students.
Thanks for having us. Let's talk about several issues that the ISD is dealing with as we're coming up to the new school year. And let's maybe start out with what's the elephant in the room and what everybody's always talking about and has been, I think in a very positive way, talked about is your TLC3 project. Where are we and what's the latest update that you might provide us and our viewers with?
Well, TLC Cubed is moving right along. As a matter of fact, our first talking about a three-year rollout is actually condensing into more like an 18-month rollout. So that's beneficial for both staff and students. One, in that now staff in the professional learning and professional development is now happening at a quicker pace. As a matter of fact, Abilene Christian University was here this past week, and they'll be here next week and training teachers and giving them that whole group lesson on these are some of the expectations.
And that's your university partner?
Yes, that's our university partner. They're really big on integrating the technology and knowing and helping teachers make it happen. And where it's appropriate. A lot of times people think that it's going to be happening 8 hours a day all the time, but you know, we're finding ways to make sure that we leverage so that students, not only during the day, see, the big part of the mobile technology is anytime, anywhere learning. So now that students are able to take this outside of the, as we say, the brick and mortar, the four walls, and do their own learning. On the rollout, actually, the iPad piece, we're looking very strongly at that we shouldn't go past November with having every child with either an iPad or an iTouch, and then that kind of leaps us forward and gets us really rolling on the expectation of having to integrate technology, bring the level of sophistication to our lessons to that next level, and then expect that students are creating and teachers are creating and being innovative. Now,
so there's still some students that are yet to get theirs as you end up passing every iPad out, is that correct?
Correct. We're still starting out because of the way school is and the way the rollout kind of is. We don't want it to coincide with the first days of school. So starting probably second, third week of school, we'll begin to roll it out, and then gradually, you know, it's just as quickly as we can get them out, really, at that point. And
well, a little bit insight from my household, and as I mentioned, I have one son in high school and one in middle school, is that our home computer is basically being rendered useless almost with this sort of learning. They're not jumping on there anymore, and I would say that that's, and I've spoken to many other parents about this, and they're basically doing the same thing, and that's probably part of the aim of this program, isn't it?
Well, it is to one is, you know, the students are very social beings now, and that's one of the things we've been looking at. You know, how do we integrate the social networking? But they're very much so. They learn on the fly, and they learn differently than we were learning. They don't have to be in a stationary place. They can very much so multitask. But we're trying to integrate too their social network savviness with now the learning. And yes, all the games and the way you do all these things and the way you find out on your own, and you don't need a manual. Well, you know, transfer that to learning. So then we facilitate that, and that's what we've been talking about this last week and this upcoming week on. Now let's make the lessons and the assignments just like that, so that we can facilitate, and they use all those same skill sets, but now they're using it for learning. So it's great, and that's the way students are coming to us now, and that's what they're used to. It's not technology to them, it's just the way of being, and we're kind of getting used to that and finding ways to meet them at their level.
Almost ironic that we're in the library. You know, we have librarians, and we don't want to, you know, speak ill of librarians because they do a great job in helping students and informing them, but certainly a lot of these books people can just find on with this new technology online.
Well, let me touch on. I'm glad you brought that up. I just talked to the librarians yesterday. They're part of our transformation. And one time you need to come by, and I think we're going to have a report to the board here soon on how the library space is transforming. Now one of our big issues is, you know, how many homes have a library, because that's literacy is a big deal. Now, you know, the iPad becomes a library, a walking library. So a lot of the work we're doing, a lot of the work they're doing is raising that level of sophistication of researching for our students, given the mobile technology, and two, that they go home with a library. Now, we don't have to worry about a physical library at the house, or mom can take you to the library, or if dad can take you to the library. Now, you know, we're really bringing things in. I'm excited about what they were presenting to me yesterday, and you'll see that over time, this space will still be very much so utilized, but it'll be much more in congruent with the 21st century. And I don't think books are totally out, but you'll definitely see some redesign of the space and the way kids are using it.
We also want them to use our library, which is the main library
Correct.
of the city, which is a gorgeous new facility. They're welcome there anytime, and of course there's rooms they can use, and so that was a shameless plug for our library, but it's doing gangbusters business, and we've got a tremendous amount of usage now, but certainly that's welcome. They can do that.
And you know, as part of the TLC Cubed, what we're hearing, and this is just anecdotal, we need to somehow put this together for I think it's both mutually beneficial, is that there's more students now at the library, and there's more students because of the iPad at the library. I think we're finding that the checkout rate, I know there's another term that they use, is rising, and we're finding that our students are more engaged in that. So that's a big piece. When we say TLC Cube, that is the classroom, campus, and community. Those are these connections and pieces where students historically didn't have access or didn't have a means, now feel very comfortable in those spaces. And I guess the city has done a great job in being really the foresight of having such a marvelous learning space, and that's what we call them now. They're learning spaces, not just places to go read or places to kill time, but the way we think about learning has changed, and the city has stepped up, and we're glad that we're kind of in sync with that.
Well, we're glad to hear that. So we've talked a little bit about TLC Cubed. What can you tell us on a more traditional method, or what's in a more traditional way, what's new for the school district this year that parents or the community might know in terms of any new regulations or rules or big changes just that we should know about?
Well, really, there's not any huge changes. I mean, it's pretty much business as usual. You know, hopefully we'll see that as students come to class, you know, just you know, we have the dress code and the student code of conduct, and that they just be more in tune with that, what that means, so that they can also have those conversations with their kids. The bigger piece that's a little newer that we're really working hard on is the cyber safety, and we're really having to bring parents in on that.
Good point.
And we're looking, and we partnered up with someone, and we're going to launch something there that brings parents more, gets them more involved, because that's the one big fear I have, is that I don't want a child to get hurt with a device because of something that they were unaware of or their parents weren't aware of. But that's going to be a big emphasis. We talk a lot about bullying, but then now we're talking about cyberbullying, and we just want people to be aware of. We want parents to be aware of. So that's really going to be big for us to make sure that we're really putting a lot of emphasis on that. Other than that, you know, we just have the same. You know, we have online enrollment. That was, some parents are kind of, I think they think it's a traditional method, but we need them to jump on board and go ahead and enroll so we can get that all straightened out. Business as usual. Some schools, and I think we're going down, but we'll mention it here, is that we're going to scale in IB. So KA, pre-KA is going to be at scale in IB. So some families will now be walking into that their school is IB. So they should be seeing some transformation along the IB methodology.
Right from kindergarten, right?
Yes, right from pre-K. So they may be wondering, well, what's
pre-K
why
IB?
is this,
That's cool. Yeah.
Why does this change, and what is happening, and you know, why are we using these new terms, and what does this mean in portfolio? And you know, you've been in an IB setting, so that'll be an exciting change, I think, for some parents and for our students, and we're really looking forward to going to scale with IB.
Well, very quickly, as we're going through a lot of topics here, can you tell me about your new teachers? You've got a lot of them this year. Can you tell me very quickly, where does the ISD find them, and what kind of process do they go through to get ready for the school year?
Well, we're excited that we have the highest, I'm not quite sure, but in a long time that we're able to do that. I know financially we had been in a different situation these past years, and even though we didn't have less teachers, we just weren't able to do some of the things that we wanted to do. But through attrition and through just some things that are going better for us, we were able to have just that higher number of teachers. We find them, you know, they find us, we find them. We still feel that McAllen is an attractive corporate setting for them, if you want to put it in that sense, an attractive place for them to not only work, but for them to apply their trade and be professionals. I think they're associated with something and good things happening, and they want to be here also. So it's a combination. We have students, I mean teachers from all over that have found their way and want to make a difference for the children of McAllen and McAllen ISD, and we're looking forward to it. It doesn't hurt, like say, when you have that infusion of a different change of pace, a different thinking, a different mindset. I've talked to even just at the administrative level, we have from all over the state are coming in just for different reasons.
And new doesn't necessarily mean just got out of college.
Yeah.
New.
Yeah, you're right. We have new to the profession, which is always good to have that infusion. Then we have new to McAllen, and then that combination, it means that people are still finding their way to McAllen. And you know, I've gotten just as anecdotal, but I've gotten the conversation in new teacher orientation as I've been walking around, especially and even this morning, that you know, TLC cubed is a big, very, very appealing reason to say I want to go in this direction, because they're really wanting to be in that environment where they're expected to be creative and innovative.
Right. No, that's really good. Of course, they'll be spread out throughout your entire district, and a lot of facilities, because of our storm last March, was it? Of course, the school district was not immune from some of the damage that took place. Do you have a facilities update? As we see, even walking in here, still construction going on, and people doing their best to try to get things ready for the school year. How are we doing there?
Well, everything's on time. Right now, we're on budget and on time. There's two things going on simultaneously, which might kind of give a little bit of wondering why there's so much going on. Some is the hailstorm, and those are being worked on. The other piece is last year the board took another bold step and approved the administration's recommendation to take about $19 million, $17 to $19 million worth of QSCAB, it's just a grant, so to speak, to redo some of its energy efficiency, which meant roofs and ballasts and lighting and a smattering of different combination that would allow us to have better energy savings. So that's some of the work that's going on that you see going across the district, and that's actually that $19 million worth of work is actually moving right along. We're also moving right along. It seems that the pace is a little slow here, but you got to understand the massive size of this roof and what's taking place, and you know, when you look at a project plan, it's not like your house roof. You know, it's not a 3-day plan. It's actually, it takes a lot. And part of the thing with McCai is the accordion roof is posed a little bit of a challenge, but we want to make sure we do it right and bring it up to the 21st century standards, so that we don't have to keep doing it over again. So, but overall, things are going well. It's, you know, you get a combination of, that's what I was going on about this morning. Usually what you want on the first day is air. You know, you want air. So I walk around and just make sure, and I'm really jumping on those schools that don't necessarily have air right now. But that's on the first day of school, you just want all the kids to show up, and you want the air conditioner to be
Dr.
working.
Ponce, back in my day, we went to school with the ceiling fans or window.
No fan.
You have to have air.
Yeah,
my high school did not have air way back in the day, and you know, we had ceiling fans, and that was about it. But now they do, and obviously it's a much better learning environment with air. That's a good point. We want to wrap up the show here with a quick question, maybe on a lighter note, is athletics. We're doing some athletic facilities, but how do we look going into the fall? We've got some strong teams. We're in a new district for football.
Yes.
Actually, not just for football, but for all sports. What's your thought on that? I know you follow sports closely, and we've got a new athletic director. How are things going in that area?
Well, real excited, you know. Yes, Paula has come in and it brought a new look on a lot of the way we did business, which is what we're looking for anytime that we have a vacancy. Not that it was bad, we're just saying, hey, we always want to be moving forward. Excited to be in the new district and to make our mark. We talked, you know, when I came to McAllen, and just because this is the mothership, and we talk about, you know, we're the big dog. So we got to act like the big dog.
Or a bulldog.
No, that's why I say, I said, no, Roe, I think Roe and Memorial kind of gets it when we say that.
Right.
But that was made clear to me that, we excel and we exceed and excel in athletics and academics, in fine arts, and in anything we do. So in athletics, it's the same. We say, and have said this all along, that it's a district championship and deep into the playoffs, and regardless, and that's what we're shooting for, and I think that's what our young student athletes are also shooting for, to do that and compete every week, and that's really what we want. We want good competition, injury-free, but we do want to win, and that's the name of the game, and we're looking forward to the new competition and to making our mark, and just as we talk about athletics, competing and making sure that they know that when McAllen comes to the stadium, we always talk about you got a fear coming either to McAllen or when McAllen goes to you. So we got to back that up.
Well, here's to wishing everyone good luck on all the teams from cross country all the way to next spring. But this fall, certainly Memorial has had a lot of success the last couple of years. We wish them luck. And we also want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to talk to us about the school district, about some of the issues that the community might want to know about. And of course, sports is always something that people want to hear. So appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us here on the McAllen Cable Network. This is Teclo Garcia. Again, we'll see you soon.